name is Indy, and today I'm here with my Shadowhunters chat, episode 2, Shadowhunter Academy Novellas and the Bane Novellas. I'm really excited to talk about these books. I've read them, so there is going to be some spoilery content, maybe just a bit here and there, but I will forewarn you about that. But first, let's just talk about the books in general. So this past month, I have been reading both the Shadowhunter Academy Chronicles and the Bane Chronicles, but these are fabulous books. If you love the Shadowhunter world, then definitely this is another thing that you should be reading. These books are honestly so good. So first of all, I've read the Shadowhunter Academy. The novellas came out in, I think, 2015, last year sometime, and they are becoming a proper physical book in November this year, so still a while to wait for a proper physical book, but I'm so happy because I've read them all. Oh my god, this book is so amazing. I don't know why it's not on my top favorites. I think it's because I didn't love all of the stories, but man, oh man. This one is basically just another book, okay? It's another book in the TMI series, and it has lots of things in the last hours and the infernal devices, and it's just so good. So lots of novellas, of course, they are set around Simon at Shadowhunter Academy after the end of City of Heavenly Fire, where Simon decides he wants to become a Shadowhunter because he is now mundane, and I don't want to say too much if you haven't read the series, but something happens to Simon and he goes to the Shadowhunter Academy to ascend, and it's so good. It's really sad in the beginning because, of course, if you haven't read City of Heavenly Fire, you don't know what happened to Simon. If something bad happened to Simon, I'm sorry, I probably just spoiled you a little bit, but anyway, if you know the gist, then you know what I'm talking about. So it's a little tearful to hear from Simon and all of his friends, and they're just, you know, they're not his friends, but I can't say anymore because I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, it's a bit tough going. It got me in the heart. I felt really upset because I was like, poor Simon. So basically in each story, it does start out with Simon in his 2 years that he's at the academy, from first book when he first starts, and the last novella is when he's graduating and ascending. Basically throughout them there is a storyline that someone, a guest speaker, usually comes in to tell them. So we have like Tessa, and we have Katrina, who's a warlock, which you don't hear a lot about in either the series, I don't think too much, but through these 2 books I have learned so much about Katrina. She is the best blue warlock ever. She's awesome. So basically there's, yes, a lot of stories in this one. There's one that we get, there's about Tessa when she's out with Will, Gabrielle, and Cecily, and they're fighting Jack the Ripper, which ends up being a small demon scary little creature girl. And we have another story of Simon does training. We have a story of the Blackthorns, which is going to be in the Los Angeles Institute in Dark Artifices, Lady Midnight. So we have a story about Mark Blackthorn. He's part of, you know, the fairy wild hunt now. So Helen comes in. Helen and Aileen get married. There's a story of James Herondale at the Shadowhunter Academy, which is Tessa and Will's child, and he's, you know, meets up with this guy named Matthew Fairchild and his cousin Christopher Lightwood and Thomas Lightwood, that are cousins, and, you know, that's descendants of Gideon and Sophie and Gabrielle and Cecily. And oh my god, there's just so many good stories in this book, and you need to read them. Oh my god. Okay, I think the biggest one is The Lost Herondale, which is the second story. Katrina tells Simon the story of this Herondale that she brought up years and years ago into the mundane world. So I think that's going to come into play maybe in Lady Midnight. Like, I feel like I'd be uncomfortable going into Lady Midnight not knowing that, because I definitely think it's going to come into a plot line at some point, so I'm hoping that is my prediction for Lady Midnight already. But just in general, the book is amazing. I probably spoiled a few things, but I feel like that just whet your appetite to read the book, did it not? The last story, the Ascension one, I cried. I can't say why or anything. You'll find out in due course, but I don't cry in books ever. That one got me upset. Like, I feel upset thinking about it now. I'm gonna bloody cry. That one was just a little too much to handle, and also because it's the end book, and it's sort of like that last chapter in the City of Heavenly Fire. You know when you get like the wrap up, the epilogue, and like everyone's happy and moving on with their life. It was just a little bit of those bittersweet moments where like it's ending, but they're all happy, and it was just like, I hate endings of books when they're like that. They make me really upset because they're just so beautiful, and I hate endings. But yes, this is a fabulous book. You must read it. You must read it. Secondly, I am currently, as I said, finishing off at the Bane Chronicles. I was concerned going into this that I wouldn't like it as much as the Shadowhunter Academies. I think that's because that one's set in more modern times. Like, that one is set after here the TMI series finishes with elements of Dark Artifices, because Emma and Julian like have a Parabati ceremony. Anyway, I'm getting off track with that, but there's another story to look forward to. But this one I didn't think I was going to enjoy as much, but I was like definitely in the mood because I want to prepare myself for Lady Midnight and get really into the world by reading all these books. But this is a bloody fabulous book too. This one is basically the story of Magnus throughout history, I guess. The first story starts in the late 1700s and then we go from there as the books get more modern until Mortal Instruments time, around there when he's dating Alec and those sorts of things. But it's really interesting because he has his best friend Ragnarfell, we know is the green warlock who died in TMI, and Katrina Lost, the blue warlock I said, who is the best warlock ever. This one was so good. I forgot how witty Magnus is and how like fantastic he is. Even his friends Ragnar and Katrina, they're pretty boss, like they're pretty cool. So it starts off about when he got banned from Peru, which is their stories with him and his relationship with Camille and Juan, and meeting James Herondale when he's a bit older. And then we have like the rise of the Hotel Dumont, and then Raphael about how he became a vampire, and that was fabulous. That was a good one because they had such good banter, Magnus and Raphael. And Raphael is like the devil child. He's so ridiculous, but he's so funny, and he like tattles on Magnus to Ragnar because Ragnar and him get along so well. Raphael because they like to be mean to Magnus. And then we get into more modern stories when he's dating Alec for the first time. This is also a great story just in the world, and we see lots of characters that we know or learn to know, and I just really enjoyed this book as much as well. But I really like the set out of the about 50 pages each these novellas are, so you get 10 of them, so it goes pretty well. Like I've had an effort to read 1 or 2 novellas a day, so it's been going well, and I've really enjoyed the little setup of these, and these are just fabulous books. Yeah, so if I haven't convinced you to read them, you definitely should. I will link them down below so you can read a little bit more about them, but honestly, like if you love the world, you should read them for sure. I'm so happy I read them because I feel like I just know so much more about the world now that I didn't know before, and it was just sort of like 2 more books in the series that you're just sort of reading, and it just made me so happy to have more, even though we're getting more very soon. I cannot wait for Lady Midnight. There was an excerpt in Shadowhunter Academy. It was the same one for like all of them. Holy shit, girl. Oh my god. That excerpt was amazing. I cannot wait for Lady Midnight. I know a lot of people already have it, and I'm like, no, I cannot wait till the 8th of March. I'm going to the shops that day. Whatever day that is. Better not be a Sunday, because the shops aren't open very long here. Oh my god. I'm gonna go and get it and read it that day. It's happening. It's probably not happening, because I'm probably halfway through another book, knowing my luck, but I'm so excited for Lady Midnight. So if you have a chance, try and read Shadowhunter Academy Chronicles before Lady Midnight, because that one I feel like is less important. Just a little bit, but definitely read these books. They're fabulous. So that's about it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Catching up on your Shadowhunter-y news things. I don't know. I'll talk more about the TV show later on, but episode 7 made her kind of bloody amazing. So good. Like, I've never loved any of the other episodes, but I watched it last night, girl. That was a good episode. It was funny, great, and that's all I'm saying because we'll talk about it another time. But yes, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Bye! Hello! Oh man. Oh, I didn't do up my shit. Awkward. Shadowhunters. I can't say, I don't want to say. Shadowhunters. Shadowhunters, looking better in black of the widows of our Shadowhunters, looking better in black than the widows of our enemies since Shadowhunters, looking better in black than the widows of our enemies since 1234. Slay. Yes!